Here's a great northern-inspired Indian curry using all vegetables. It's my bean and potato stew. Now, there are a few spices, but this is what makes it so special. So I like to start off with some ghee. Ghee is a fantastic product to have in your fridge or your pantry. Essentially, it is clarified butter. So it's fantastic for people who are paleo or vegetarians because all of the milk solids have been removed. Now, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of that. And most importantly, ghee is delicious. That's why I like to use it in my curries. So I'm just going to let that warm up. And because all of those milk solids have been removed from the ghee, it allows us to heat it up even higher without it burning like classic butter. So the first ingredient I'm going to add is some curry leaves. I love curry leaves, fresh ones if you can find them. If you can't, by all means, you can use dried ones or buy a big bunch of them. You can get them at your supermarket now and freeze them. So I want some for a garnish. So we're going to add them and they will spit because of the moisture in, so just be careful. 1, 2, and 3. So once they do start to sizzle, wilt, and you can smell them, you know that they're almost ready. And we're just going to remove that and place 2 of the stalks onto a little plate. And then that's going to be for the garnish. Totally optional. And the other one can stay in there for the flavour. So into this we'll also add some chilli and some garlic that I've chopped up nicely. Get that sizzling away. Loads of ginger, so I'm just going to grate that ginger and then in it goes. Give that a toss again. And now for the spices. So I like to start with whole spices for this. Some cumin seeds, we'll sprinkle that in. And we just want to toast them. This is the general rule when using spices. The whole spices, they can be toasted off first and then you add the ground ones. Naturally, because they're smaller, more refined, they'll burn faster. So add the whole ones first, toss them, and then add the others later. Now that smells fantastic, so we can add our other ingredients. It is a bean stew after all, so loads of beautiful fresh green beans. I've cut them into thirds. They can go in and we'll just coat them in that beautiful ghee and all of those flavours and just let them cook for a moment. And some potatoes, so 2 potatoes. I want to cut them roughly the same size as our beans so they cook in the same amount of time. And this is one of those recipes where you can add to like a big Indian style banquet and have this as a side dish. Or what I love to do lately is when I want a few more vegetarian dishes for a midweek dinner, have this served with rice and that's all you need. If you like some roti too, delicious. Because it's saucy and it's filling because of the potatoes and the beans. You really don't need much else. So I'm using Desiree potatoes for this. I like them because they hold their shape and the skin, nothing wrong with the skin. In fact, it gives it more flavour. Just give them, of course, a really good wash. So into little cubes and the last ones. Great. Okay, we'll pop them in with our beans. And another toss. Okay, you can see that's just 2 potatoes. You can see how big this curry is going to be. Now for the remaining spices, some ground coriander, along with some ground turmeric, half a teaspoon, and then another toss. And I do have some garam masala, but I do like to add that right at the end. So just some water, about 1/4 cup, and the one big mistake when cooking curries is people forget to season. It needs seasoning so we can really taste all those spices. So a generous pinch of salt. And that's it. Now we're just going to cover that up and turn that down. And we're going to cook this for about 15 to 20 minutes or until the potatoes are tender. All right, let's check out this curry. It smells fantastic. I love how turmeric every time stains the potatoes. It looks beautiful. To check the potatoes are cooked, just grab your knife and just insert it into one of the potatoes. And if it goes in really easily, without resistance, they are cooked. See, it takes no time. This took 20 minutes. And we can add our last spice, the garam masala, which is a mixed spice blend, a very small amount. We'll sprinkle that in. And just for some freshness, I always like to add a little lemon juice and add this at the last minute. I'm going to turn the heat off and a good drizzle of that. If you don't want to use lemon, you could just use some white vinegar for this, but I just think that just pop of acidity is quite important for this curry. And you can see that all of that liquid has been absorbed and we can serve up. Yum, love this style of curry. So a generous spoonful into a bowl. And to finish this curry off, those beautiful curry leaves that we fried in some ghee at the beginning, we can pop them on the top just for some prettiness. So much flavour in this curry. 2 basic vegetables, really jazzed up with loads of spices, delicious.